G'day cobbers and welcome to the Coin Cobber channel. Look, if you're keen as mustard to get into crypto but you're worried about getting absolutely fleeced, you've landed in the right spot. We're here to give you the dinky-di, no-nonsense guide to the Aussie crypto world.
All right, let's rip straight into it. You know, the number one worry for pretty much anyone starting out is getting stung by sneaky fees and platforms that are just baffling. It's a fair concern, but don't we worry. By the end of this, you'll be a pro at spotting all the traps and keeping your hard-earned dosh right where it belongs, in your pocket. So, here's our game plan. First up, we're going to chat about why sticking with a local Aussie exchange is just a ripper of an idea. Then, and this is the big one, we'll blow the lid on the biggest cost trap for newbies. After that, we'll get you all set up, show you how to keep your coins safe as houses. And finally, the part no one's thrilled about, but we all have to do, sorting out the tax man. Let's get into it. Right, first things first. You've probably seen ads for all these massive overseas exchanges, but trust me, for your first paddle in the crypto pool, going local is absolutely the way to go. And here's why. Okay, so every proper crypto exchange here in Australia has to be registered with Ostra. That's a huge plus for your security. But the real game changer is the direct Aussie dollar banking. Using PayID or Oscow means no more losing your cash converting Aussie dollars to US dollars and then back again. Your deposits are instant, they're free, and if you hit a snag, you're actually talking to a real person in your time zone, not some robot at 3 in the morning.
Okay, listen up, because this is probably the most important bit of this whole explainer. This is where almost every single beginner gets caught out, and it's so dead simple to avoid. We're talking about fees and the massive, massive difference between paying a little bit and paying a bomb.
When you log in, you're going to see two main ways to buy. You've got the big, shiny, instant buy button. It's a piece of cake, it's super quick, and it'll cost you an arm and a leg. Then you've got the spot market or exchange tab. Now, it looks a bit more full-on, with all the charts and numbers, but trust me, that's where you'll get the best bang for your buck. It's like buying a beer at a tourist trap versus just popping down to the local bottle-o. So, here's the deal. If you just go ahead and smash that instant buy button on some of these platforms, you could be forking out a 1% fee. Now, that doesn't sound like much, right? But hey, if you're putting in $1,000, that's $10 down the drain, straight away. That's what they call the price of convenience. But, and here's the kicker, if you just take an extra 30 seconds to use their spot market instead, that fee drops to a tiny 0.01%. On that same grand, your fee is now just 10 cents. That is not a small difference. That is 100 times cheaper. This is the single best tip I can give you for saving money when you're buying crypto in Australia. But hold on, there's more. The other hidden cost is something called the spread. Basically, this is the gap between what the exchange will buy crypto for and what they'll sell it to you for. It's a hidden profit margin they just sneak into the price. A quick rule of thumb, check the buy price on the instant page, then just flick over to the spot market and look at the last traded price. If there's a big gap, that's the spread, and it is the silent killer of your crypto gains. So let's just break it down real quick. CoinSpot has that amazing 0.01% spot fee, which is awesome. But you've got to keep a close eye on the spread. SwiftX has a flat 0.6% fee, which is a bit more, but their spread is usually easier to see. And then you've got an exchange like Kraken, which actually promises no hidden spreads on its pro platform. The main thing to remember is that the advertised fee is only half the story. You have to know all the costs. All right, enough about fees for now. Let's actually get you set up. This next bit might seem like a bit of a hassle, but it's actually a piece of cake and it's mostly automated. So let's walk through building your account. This process is called KYC, or Know Your Customer. It's a legal thing from Ostra to stop dodgy dealings, so every single proper exchange has to do it. You just sign up, chuck in a photo of your license or your passport, and then take a quick selfie to prove you're not a robot. Honestly, for most folks, you'll be approved automatically in just a few minutes. Easy as. Once you're verified, it's time to get some Aussie dollars in there. The best way by far is with PayID. The exchange will give you a unique email address and, now this is the crucial bit, a unique reference code. You have to copy both of these into your banking app. Get that reference code right and your money will show up almost instantly. Get it wrong and you are in for a real headache. I'm just going to let that sink in for a second because it is that important. That quote is straight from the exchanges themselves. See, the reference code is how their system knows that money is yours. If you forget it, your cash can get stuck in limbo for days while you're on the phone to support trying to sort it out. So do yourself a favor, triple check that reference code every single time. So you've gone and bought your first bit of crypto. Struth. Awesome. Now how do you stop some bugger from pinching it? Let's talk about keeping your digital tinny safe and sound.
These are the security features you really want to see. ISO certification is a big deal. It's the global benchmark for information security, and exchanges like SwiftX and CoinSpot have it. Proof of reserves means they can prove they actually hold your crypto, and cold storage means most of the assets are kept completely offline, safe from hackers. But your number one job, before you do anything else, is to turn on two-factor authentication. It's basically like having a bouncer for your account. Just do it.
You'll hear this phrase a lot in the crypto world, and for very good reason. It's simple. If your crypto is sitting on an exchange, you don't really have full control over it. The exchange holds the private keys. Think of it as the master password to your crypto. You're trusting them to look after it for you. So for day-to-day trading and small amounts, leaving it on a trusted Aussie exchange is fine. But if you're planning on holding for the long haul, the safest possible bet is to move your crypto to a personal hardware wallet. Think of it like a high-tech USB stick that keeps your master password completely offline. It means that even if your computer gets hacked, your crypto is safe because the keys never, ever touch the internet. That's the best security you can possibly get.
All right, we're on the home stretch. Last bit, and it's a serious one. We've got to talk about tax. I know, it's no fun, but ignoring it can get you into a world of strife. And make no mistake, the ATO is keeping a very, very close eye on crypto.
So when do you actually need to think about tax? Well, obviously when you sell crypto for good old Aussie dollars. But here's the one that trips everyone up: trading one crypto for another. Why? Because the ATO sees crypto as property, not cash. So swapping your Bitcoin for some Ethereum is like selling one investment property to buy another. You have to report any profit or loss from that transaction. Same deal if you use crypto to buy a flat white. This is honestly the most important thing to get your head around. Because the ATO sees it as property, you legally have to keep a record of every single trade: the date, the dollar value, the law. Now, it's a massive pain, which is why using dedicated crypto tax software is an absolute lifesaver. They connect to your exchanges and do all the heavy lifting for you, so you don't face some really hefty fines down the track. And that's a wrap. After all that, the choice is yours, isn't it? Are you going to be the person who hits the easy button and pays for it through the nose, or are you going to take a few extra seconds to use the spot market and save yourself an absolute packet? Hopefully, that choice is a little bit clearer now. If this guide helped you out and maybe saved you from getting ripped off, do us a solid and smash that like button. And be sure to subscribe to CoinCobber, because we've got heaps more fair dinkum crypto advice coming your way.
Stay safe out there, and happy investing. Cheers, cobbers!